Hey, what's going on today, YouTube? How's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about my study plan for the JLPT N1, and today's just going to be a brief outline of the schedule. I won't be going to any crazy details, but this is what I've been trying for about a week and a half, and I think it's been working. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into that schedule. Okay, so as I said before, I have been doing this for about a week and a half, and I think this is doable for the amount of time that I have before the JLPT N1 on December 4th. So let's go ahead and go through it and break it down. So for my Monday, Wednesday, Friday plan, here's kind of what I have outlined for the day. In the morning from 7 to 8 a.m. I'll do an hour of reading. What I'm going to be doing is going over my hours of reading, as I think that's important. You can see the other stuff is kind of what the timeline for listening are. So my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, about an hour of reading in the morning. That includes waking up, making coffee, and tidying up before the day gets started. At about 9 to 11 a.m. I believe I can get another 2 hours of reading in. Next time I can begin reading again is going to be at work. So during lunch I can get about 45 minutes of reading done at lunch. Lastly, at night I got 12 to 1 hour of reading and then some Anki. So with that, what it totals out to is 4 hours and 45 minutes of active input. And then of course, if we factor in what I consider as passive, we get 7 hours and 30 minutes of passive. So nothing too crazy, only 4 hours and 45 minutes of active, but at least I do get quite a bit of passive in for those Monday, Wednesday, Friday days. Alright, so Tuesdays and Thursdays look pretty similar except for the time that I omitted for working out. So about an hour of reading in the morning, but instead I'll have 9 to 1:30 p.m. for reading, so 4.5 hours of reading. And then same thing, 45 minutes during work at lunch, and then after work 1 hour of reading and Anki till 1. So with that is 7 hours and 15 minutes of active and 5 hours of passive for Tuesday and Thursday. Saturday and Sunday, and my Saturday and Sundays might vary quite a bit, which is why I kind of have a variable time. So the first part, whenever I wake up in the morning to 10 a.m. can be anywhere between 1 to 3 hours of reading. For calculations, I'm going to be on the lower end, so I just consider 1 hour. 10 to 5 can vary quite greatly because I could be helping around the house, doing mist cleaning, laundry, stuff like that. So, you know, I want to try to get at least 3 hours of reading done in that time. But if I'm not able to read actively, at least some passive listening. So 10 to 5 p.m. 5 to 10, I want to try to get as much reading in as possible. So that's going to be kind of a set time to read, eat dinner, hang out with family. That 3 to 5 hours I can probably get in that time. 5 hours only reading, that would be kind of what would have to happen, but I can probably assume 3 hours I'll be able to get during that time. And then once again, 10 to 1 a.m. do 3 hours of reading, including Anki. So if we calculate those hours up using the lower end spectrum of the ranges, that totals to 10 hours of active and 4 hours of passive, which is pretty good. It's much better than the other days of the week, and so that kind of sums up what I'll be doing for the week. But let's go ahead and jump into the summary of what that means for the weeks coming up. Alrighty, so that puts my total for the week at 48 hours and 45 minutes of active input, and then 40 hours and 30 minutes of passive input. So reasoning that there are 13 weeks left till December 4th, and I'm going to be gone about 2 weeks of that time, I've got 11 weeks that I can put into the calculation. So saying 11 weeks, doing the calculations, that now puts me at 536 hours and 15 minutes of active input, with 445 hours and 30 minutes of passive input for learning Japanese or for consuming Japanese content, and then 420, and then considering a 90% efficiency, or actually no, this is 80%, because 20% of that active time might end up going to other tasks that come up. That puts me at 428.8 hours of active input before the JLPT N1, and whatever I'm not able to get in as active because of this percentage, will roll over into the passive input time as well. So for the grand total at 80% efficiency for active input, that puts me at a total of, rounding, 429 hours of active input and 552 hours of passive input before the JLPT N1. So those are the study hours I plan to attain and plan to get before I take the JLPT N1 in December. And because I signed up, it has increased the amount that I am actively studying on a day-to-day basis. So that is the entire plan for taking the N1 in December. And then so in the coming days, I will be talking about a little bit of things in more detail, like how many characters I'm reading for novels, like what type of novels I'm reading, how many characters I'm consuming, stuff like that. What am I specifically studying? And so I'll be covering that in a future video come after this one, but I just wanted to give a brief outline of what I will be doing for the JLPT N1 before December 4th. Just because I put a post on my YouTube channel saying I signed up for it, and I wanted to create a plan to get there. The current level I'm at right now, I do not think, not in the slightest, that I would pass at my level, but I do wholeheartedly believe that I can attain that level if I put in these study hours. So we'll see how that turns out, but that's the plan and that's the outline for how to do it, for how I'm doing it. And I've done this for about a week and a half, and the way that I've been doing it, I think it's attainable. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, if you watch all the way through, good luck in your studies out there, and yeah, we'll see you again in a future video.